and welcome to Raymies garage in this very cold morning here in Scotland. My car is completely frosted over, and today I was going to show you the fuel burning heater and how it works. The temperature on my wee gauge here is sitting probably at 0. It's probably a bit colder than that, and the car has been sitting for a day or two, and the ice is quite not too bad for here at this time of year. What I'm going to do is fire up the fuel burning heater and see how quickly it will defrost the window. So the fuel burning heater sits in here, and there's a transmitter on the key, and the reception antenna is in behind this panel. So this one's pretty defrosted actually. This bit of the car is actually a bit more defrosted because it's close to the house, and we can open the doors. And this side is okay, but usually the other side is solid, and can't open the doors. We'll see the side steps coming out. Hopefully go back in again, which they do. So I shall grab the fob and we will try and fire up the fuel burning heater. So we're going to look at the temperature inside the car, which is just above 0. You can see the windows completely covered. What I would normally do is set my temperature to about 28, which is the highest, and that usually blows hot air up here. And I'll try and put a diagram on how this works, because it's only going to blow hot air up to the screen here. And that's the temperature check. Just close the door. Around to the front of the car, let's see if we can get it to work. So this is the fob you'll get. You can also program it from the dash, and I can show you that as well. So what I do is, sometimes this works slightly differently in 2 ways, where you press the button and it works immediately. Sometimes you've got to press it twice. So if you hold the button in, you get the green light and it flashes very fast. And I've noticed when this happens, the fuel burning heater doesn't come on. So we wait for that to finish, then we'll press the button again. So that's it stopped. Press and hold it again, and you'll notice now that it's got a slow pulsing green light, which should now be sending a signal to the receiver at the back of the car. So we'll now just listen. And one thing you can also watch for if you're doing this with your own car, this, because mine is a digital screen, it has come on itself, but if it's the older one you'll see a light coming on. We started that about 10 to 2 in the afternoon. I can now hear the burner firing up. I'm not sure if you can hear that. I can certainly hear it. I'll stick the camera in there, see if you can hear it. So it is coming on, and what happens is, in the middle of the car underneath here, there's a small fuel pump. It's a pulsating pump, and the pump will come on, supply the fuel burning heater. It's in here and fires it up. But I can hear it going now, and I can hear the fan going. So what I'm going to do is just see how long it takes for that windscreen to defrost. So I'm going to try and put it on hyper mode to see if we can capture that faster than waiting for 20 minutes. It should run for about 20 minutes, then it will shut itself off. So this is us about halfway through the process. It's been running for about 10 minutes and it's clear that the front screen's clearing pretty fast, which means there's obviously a lot of heat in there, and you can hear the fuel burning heater. I'll maybe just pop the bonnet. It shouldn't affect what it's doing. And there's our heater now. It's starting to gain temperature, and you can definitely feel it's nice and warm in here. There won't be any heat coming out here, but it is coming out. We'll be sticking that up there. Let's see what temperature that is, if I can get it to sit properly. And you'll see that climbing there. Opens the hood. So I can still hear it running there. Here it's here. This here's the heater. The actual pump's down in there. You hear the hoses and you can feel it's nice and warm. And there's a changeover valve in here. It doesn't go through the whole engine. And this unit will start up when you actually start the car. And the idea behind that is to try and heat the engine up an awful lot faster and heat the cabin up a lot faster than it does, to make it more efficient once it gets up to temperature. It's working fine. Just let it run its course. Window's definitely clear now. And I know you can't feel it, but it's certainly getting toasty in here. That's set at 28. You notice I've got it set at auto sync. That's just the way it was set before we left it. So here we are. We'll try and zoom in on that. That's sitting now about 21, which is quite good, quite clear. It's starting to defrost that side as well. Yeah, and you can actually see a bit of melting of the ice starting here. So it's like this. So yeah, and if you can get down, if you're doing this yourself and you can listen under here, you'll hear a ticking noise. I'll try and get under there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to hear it. I'm going to stick the camera right in there, but I can hear it, but we'll see if you can hear it. Yeah, I can definitely hear it ticking, like a rapid ticking noise. It's just basically a pulse of a pump. It's pumping fuel into the fuel burning heater. But very, very handy in weather like this, particularly here in sunny but very, very cold Scotland. I think it was at -5 last night. So great for coming out, switching it on and giving it about 20 minutes before you're ready to leave, and the cabin's nice and warm, it's defrosted and nice and cosy. And all you've then got to do is get the heated seats on, heated steering wheel on, and you're sorted, you're set for the day. So I'm just going to hang about to see if we can hear it going off. And I wonder if my there's enough heat in here to open this, so let me open this door. There you go. So yeah, we're in here, lovely and warm. That's smashing. I'll just keep that door closed. Let me see, no ignition on the car. So this window's now defrosted, so it is blowing up both sides of the front, driver's side and passenger side. This was always defrosted anyway, this side, so was the back. That's starting to defrost here, defrost there, so all the windows are starting to defrost. I think it's probably got about 5 minutes to run yet. Then we'll take the last temperature inside the car, bearing in mind it was 0. I think it was actually colder than that. The exhaust for the fuel burning heater sits under here, and sometimes maybe when you stop the car you'll notice like there's sometimes a wee puff of smoke comes out there, even when you start the car normally, particularly in cold weather. You'll see some exhaust out there and you'll wonder what that is, and it's the fuel burning heater's exhaust coming out there. Generally not smoky. A couple of other things about the fuel burning heater is that you've got to have a certain amount of amps in your battery. So your battery's got to be pretty charged. If you've got a flat battery it won't work. It does say you have to have at least 1/4 tank of fuel in your car before it works, which I will tell you now, this car has got a lot less than that, and it's actually needing fuel, and I'll show you that when I put the ignition on. So the fuel part of it is a bit of a myth for me, because it's worked for me with practically no fuel in the car, although maybe it shouldn't, but it does. And the ambient temperature outside, I think it's got to be below, I think it's about 7 or 8 degrees, and it'll start to work. But my older L322, it struggled to do this and we had to fix it, but since I've got this L405 it's worked absolutely flawlessly every single time. So a great piece of kit. A lot of people don't like them, but yeah, I like them. You'll also notice a lot of people comment on when they've done this, you'll have a low battery coming up in your car. That may well be the case if your battery's low. I'm not expecting on this car today, but my other L322 always come up with low battery, but the car always started anyway, so it worked out quite well. And 3 or 4 minutes I think, so that's it, stopping now. I can hear this, the noise starting to dim down, switching itself off, back into its normal sequence. So we will go over and see what the temperature's like in the car. And there we have it. It looks like about 30 on that thermometer there, although I don't know how accurate that is, but you can certainly see it's came up quite a bit since they put the temperature gauge in there. So let's go around and start the car, and we'll see if we've got a low battery. We might have, because the car's not been running for a while. Oh, here we go. So yes, nice and warm in here. And there we go, car started fine. All working, low fuel level. Look how much fuel's in that. So I do need to get fuel. I don't usually run it as low as that. However, we'll get that today. The one other thing I wanted to show, and I'll just turn this fan down a wee fraction, was the timed climate on here. So it's in extra features, timed climate, and you can have a 7-day timer. which means it'll come on every day, or a single event. I'll try 7 day. Go to timer, and then you can program what time you want it on, what time you want it off. Do you want it to go on all week, or you can select particular days. And it does say it operates for 20 minutes from the set time, so we could set it for tomorrow morning to come on, and switch that on at 7:30, and it'll come on for 20 minutes, so it'll come on till 10 to 8, and you can put another timer on, for example, to say come on if you were at work, for example, to put that on. We'll say something like, I don't know, 3:30. So it will come on at 7:30 on Saturday, and you can select the different days, and you can probably select, I'm going to save changes, all week, and it'll come on all week to do your time, 7:30. So it's going to come on every morning at 7:30. So you can program it for here. Don't usually use that because I've got the fob, but if you haven't got the fob and you haven't got the receiver, which is stored in the back offside panel, you can still program it from here. You may not have a fob, but you actually may have a receiver. When I purchased this car, it didn't have a receiver on it, and I said to the garage, I says I want one of the fobs on it, and he programmed that, which is a fairly simple thing to do, to program the fob. I'm sure there's loads of information on the YouTube how to program a new fob for your key fob for your fuel burning heater. So that's us. Don't think there's any more to it, and you can see my screen is pretty clear around the edges, all clear. Only took about 20 minutes, well, probably only took about 10 minutes to clear the ice off the screen. But for me, this is a fantastic piece of kit in this car, especially if you live in a cold climate like we do in the winter in Scotland. And there you go, that's how the fuel fired booster heater, as they would call it, or the fuel burning heater as a lot of people call it, how it works. And thanks for watching the video. A little quick one today, but take care. Thanks very much. Cheers for now.